Alright guys, so most of you probably already know by now that our favorite Reddit mod and Twitter activist in praise of shadows dropped this pretty horrific video called Bad Conservative Films, something like that, and it ended up being demolished by the entire internet. All the big YouTubers that he decided to slander and criticize and talk smack about in that video ended up going on Twitter, calling him out, and I'm pretty sure they're cooking up some heat, some type of response video right about now. But of course, our boy Praise of Shadows decided that he was going to apologize on Twitter, and we all know how these types of people are. The way that they apologize is just another way for them to shift the narrative and basically say, I'm sorry you feel this way, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I pretty much stand by almost everything that he said, so we're gonna pretty much dive into it. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to link my breakdown of it. If you want to put that bad boy on 2x speed and kind of catch yourself up to the whole lore, feel free. Probably going to link it like right about here or so. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing, but let's dive right in. So, Praise of Shadows said this on May 26th, 2024 at 10:28 a.m. A thread about the last few days. Many people have said very fair criticism of me and my work, that I did not appropriately portray people, and I would like to address that. To Brandon, I do need to apologize to you for two things. The first, you are right. It was wrong for me to use that picture. I included it to show that you and Wendigoon had a closeness. There are other images I could have used to demonstrate that. For what it is worth, I am genuinely sorry. For context, In Praise of Shadows decided to use this photo of Brandon with his grandpa right after a brain injury, and this caused Brandon to basically tweet out, also using a photo of my grandpa after his brain injury is super cool of you. You seem like a great guy, I want to shake your hand. Praise Shadows. And yeah, this is just pretty insane. I mean, there's thousands of pictures of Brandon online you could have found. Even you could have found pictures of him with Wendigoon, but instead you chose this random photo of his grandpa because Wendigoon replied to it. Just super out of place and super weird and gross. That's kind of a term that Shadows would probably use. The second is I did not do my diligence when looking into allegations against you. To be honest, I saw pictures of you with Turkey Tom, with Donut Operator, and Wendigoon, with Brandon Herrera, and often with a gun in your hand. I wrote you off. You know, based on this comment, I'm gonna just assume that he Googled Brandon Buckingham and then he saw a video like this, Inside the World of Gun YouTubers with Brandon Herrera and Donut Operator. I also say this because Brandon Herrera and Donut Operator were featured in the hit piece that is now deleted from the original video, but again, Turkey Tom is a part of this, Wendigoon is here, Brandon Buckingham is here, and these guys just pretty much go to a range, like a big open field, and they shoot guns. Everyone is safe, everyone's having fun, and it's just a good time, a bunch of dudes hanging out. And the funny thing is Destiny is also here, who is not a conservative, by the way, which I guess he didn't, want to include Destiny because that would kind of go against his whole point of it being conservatives only.
Who would have known the gun tubers of San Antonio included known racist Turkey Tom and Destiny?
I'm not known. I'm unknown.
I got like over 1 million subs now. Good job, dude.
I did not feel you were worth my time, and that was a result of the company you keep. Ultimately, that is a failing on me, though, in how I presented that. You using homophobic language to me, though, and calling me a low testosterone freak, does not change my opinions about you. My base thoughts remain the same, even though I should have said them differently and not let that cloud my writing. And now this comment caused Brandon to actually reply to that tweet saying, I had no idea you were homosexual. I was calling you a low testosterone freak for being a miserable, moody asshole who basically slandered me in an attempt to demonize a close friend of mine. You literally said Wendigoon should be banned from public spaces. He also ended up quote tweeting it saying, after spreading false accusations that I threatened to someone, this guy is now claiming I am homophobic because I said he seems like he has low testosterone. You're such a freaking victim. I watched your entire video and will be making a detailed response. Enjoy your mouth off. And yeah, again, this is another one of those things, another I'm a victim, woe me, pity me, a whole Keffels thing where, no matter what I do, you said something offensive to me. It seems like he kind of had a good thing going where he was like, yeah, Brandon, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have included you as being a gun tuber when you were just going to, be with some guys with guns who are going to just kind of create content. And I shouldn't have used this photo of you and your grandfather who just went through a terrible, tragic time. But no. Hold on. I can't give you too much praise. I gotta take one back. I gotta accuse you of being homophobic. Because that's what we do. That's what me and the Garbage Pail Kids do. To Mutahar, your thumbnail art was transphobic. I have nothing else to say to that. To which Mutahar, of course, is going to quote tweet him and say, gonna back that claim up? What about painting me up as a Tate fan when I wasn't? It's alright. I can't expect you to be good faith about anyone who've already perceived me as a monster. Wish you the best in a successful future. Obviously, this guy probably won't have a future after this. And of course, I thought I would make a little joke. I ended up ratioing Praise of Shadows by saying, I don't know, bro. You seem transphobic. Don't ask how. I have nothing else to say to that. And I mean, case closed. I said that, guys. I said he's transphobic. I closed the book by saying I have nothing else to say to that. So you're just going to have to accept it. I'm sorry. It comes with the time. Your time has come to enter the transphobia arc. Shadows, you're canceled. You're done, bud. I always try to do my best. I dropped the ball here in how I presented this. My heart was in the right place. I try to live my life with integrity. If you have watched me for a long time, I hope you know this. I will always believe in trying to do the right thing and standing up to things that I do not believe in. I was overcome with anger because I think it is incredibly dangerous that there is a man in horror that you cannot criticize without being called an F-slur for days on end. I think that is a very serious issue. And I don't know about that one, man, because that's kind of a hot take. Because anytime someone tries to defend any of the creators that you slandered in this video, they end up with 13 different YouTube drama posts about why they're offensive as well, and why they're also sexist, why they're also homophobic, why they're also neo-Nazis, blah, blah, blah. Now, you didn't do your best to try to be honest. You didn't do your best to try to stick up for it. I'm going to assume that you think that because a few random NPCs, a few bot accounts, a few random accounts with like 2-3 followers that nobody supports, nobody agrees with, called you a slur, that somehow that represents, all of Wendigoon's followers, all of these other creators' followers. That's not the case at all. You should have done some better research before you decided to plop out a video that somehow was 3 hours of 20 minutes of nonsense. But I did not let that anger at this affect my overall quality in the presentation of these events. I still think that this is dangerous. I still think it should be talked about, but I should have worked at this to make my thoughts more clear and professional. I also think that it is telling that the bulk of what I said has not actually been addressed at all, and that many criticisms were instead about details that I got wrong, such as the nature of Brandon's work. I feel like it is important to note, even if I was off in some details. Well, yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand why people are going to notice things that are false, things that are assumptions, things that are pretty absurd opinions that came from random sources across the internet, like accusing people of being too white to say Wendigo or to make a Wendigo their mascot, or being friends with neo-Nazis, or being transphobic because they did one thing where they commented on someone's page. And you did this entire 40-minute part of the video, the chapter 4, was just you reaching for just anything you could to try to make Wendigoon and his friends seem like horrific evil people. And when they make posts saying, I'm not a horrific evil person, you're like, oh my god, bro, leave me alone. We all make mistakes. It's just a 4-hour-long mistake, bro. Just leave me alone. I'm still learning. I'm only almost 30 years old. I'm still learning. And it's just cope, dude. It's just massive cope for why you thought that this video was going to eat. That's what it was. You thought this was going to do some damage to Wendigoon, and you don't realize that he has a fan base and all his friends are going to stick up for him, and understand that you're just an absolute doofus. Mentally, I have grown very tired of conservatives picking apart my work for 2 years. I am worn down. I let my emotions get the best of me here, but the core idea in this needed to be addressed. And his core idea being addressed is basically that anyone who disagrees with him is a conservative. And by his logic, if you're a conservative, you're a bad person. And instead of him just having a disagree with your political stance or your beliefs or maybe your religion, he's going to make up all these other red herrings and bad things related to conservatives. Very few, very bad conservatives. He's going to link to every conservative so that he has a reason to, defend himself from any type of criticism, which is just absolutely dishonest. But this was beneath me. This was a product that began with The Hills Have Eyes, ultimately. I made this video to say that even if Wendigoon did not harbor hate, that his base was made of it, and that he was comfortable making money from that. And I think that point stands true. And he has now been proven, and it is now time to end this. Today, I will be taking that section down from my video. I will be gone for a month while I recharge and work on projects at a slower pace. I thought this was important to talk about. I still do. But the way I went about it was beneath the normal standard that I hold to myself. As to my audience, I apologize for that. If you felt that you have been mischaracterized, that was not my intention. And I genuinely am sorry. There are ways to talk about this that could have been more professional. And as with everything in life, I'll use this to learn and always do better. I care so much about horror, it is my life, and I grew tired and scared of seeing hate growing on the fringe of something I care so deeply about. Horror is about kindness, horror is about love. Until next time, Zane. And that's just about it, guys. We get this half-assed apology where he pretty much says, yeah, I'm sorry for some of these claims, but Mutahar, you're a transphobe still. But yeah, I'm also not really sorry because this is something I'm passionate about, and I have to call out these big, bad, evil, scary conservatives. He learned nothing. I look forward to seeing what Brandon is cooking. I hope that Mutahar is cooking something up. I hope Turkey Tom is cooking up something. Wendigoon's probably not going to make something. He's more content focused, which I don't blame him. He stays out of the drama. But, for the most part, if you are one of these creators who has sponsors, someone like Oompaville who has a candy company, someone like Mutahar who has a skin care company, all these large creators who have large followings and have a lot to lose, have a great reason why they need to make not need, but they should make a video to defend themselves and to break down every argument or little argument that they have. In my case, I had to make this 45-minute video, not this one, but the one before, breaking down every little point because I wanted to. Now, for the most part, these larger creators can just do something like, I'm not transphobic and here's why. Go watch this video. Go do this. I don't support Andrew Tate and here's why. Go watch this. Now, I want to know what you guys think about this entire situation. I don't accept this dude's apology. I mean, it's not for me, but he did put it out publicly for the community and for Twitter/X to see. And I think the apology sucks. I think that he's just basically, like I said, saying, I'm sorry that you are butthurt, and I'm sorry that this is going to probably ruin my channel and my credibility here as a creator. An entire 4-hour-long schizo post of this guy freaking out and making absurd accusations and accusing people of being the most heinous, evil people on earth because they've made edgy jokes in the past, because they've done some cringy things in the past. They've liked a few posts, a few bad posts, and sometimes not even that. They like a post that was posted by a person who also did this. It's so much pearl clutching is what we like to call this from our favorite subreddit mod. We're on to you, Shadow. That YouTube drama subreddit, things are starting to get a little fishy and how they're always on the sides of the lunatics. You can be Keffals, you can be Shadows. These lunatics are going to stick by you, but I'm not. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you're not already, please subscribe. Please leave a like. If you like the X-Defying gameplay, let me know down below if you like this format. If not, also let me know. Peace out, my friends.